Om Namo Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiriye Nashtiprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtiki. So continuing with the discussion on Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat by Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, Adi Khanda, Chapter-1. Or now we are starting with section opening words. The original name of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat was Sri Chaitanya Mangal. As Sri Lochan Das Thakur, the disciple of Narhari Sarkar Thakur, wrote another book named Sri Chaitanya Mangal, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur later changed the name of his own book to Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat in order to differentiate the two books. When Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami refers to Sri Chaitanya Mangal in his Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, he is referring to this Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat. And Prabhupada, in parenthesis, whenever he wrote Chaitanya Mangal, he wrote Chaitanya Bhagavat because just to make sure the reader is aware of this. It is said that Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur changed the name of his book to Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat by the desire of Srimati Narayani Devi. Okay, so who was this Narayani Devi? She was the mother of Vrindavan Das Thakur. And she was a niece of Srivas Thakur. So at the house of Srivas Thakur, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to go and perform his night Sankirtan pastimes with all the devotees, so once Srivas Thakur, he was very afraid because people had told him that Mughal, that you're getting this Nimai come to your house and perform kirtan. The Mughal king is going to come and he's going to punish all of us because this Sankirtan is banned. And then they were talking, okay, let's break down the house of Srivas Thakur and just throw it in Ganga. So Srivas Thakur was very upset. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told him that if this Mughal king comes, I'll personally. First, he said, "Don't worry about it. They're not going to come." Shiva Thakur was still not pacified. So Mahaprabhu said, "I'll go personally to his boat and ask him that, can your scriptures or can your practices take you to love of God?" And then I'll bestow in front of him love of God to even animals. And Shiva Thakur was getting little pacified. And then Mahaprabhu said, called this Narayani, was little girl at that time. She said, "Come, Narayani," and he let Narayani suck the big toe of his own foot. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did that. So Narayani sucked that toe. Of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Sachidanand Vigraha, and he's full of love. But just by sucking the toe of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then Mahaprabhu asked her to dance in ecstatic love of Krishna. And she raised her arms and was chanting Hare Krishna and dancing in ecstasy. So seeing that wonder on even little Narayani, everybody was pacified. Shiva Thakur was pacified. Yes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can do miracles. So later Narayani moved out of the house of Shiva Thakur. I don't remember where she went. And then she got married, and then she had this boy who was Vrindavan Das Thakur. So he changed the name of his book to Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat by the desire of Srimati Narayani Devi. Anyway, as in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the pastimes of Krishna are described. In this book, the pastimes, particularly the Navadvip pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Dev, who's non-different from the son of Nanda, are described. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita deals more with Sri Chaitanya's pastimes as a sannyasi in Nilachal, and therefore may be accepted as a supplement to Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur's book. This great book is divided into three parts: Adi, Madhya, and Antya. Adi Khanda extends up to the Lord's acceptance of initiation. Madhya Khanda extends up to the Lord's acceptance of sannyas, and Antya Khanda describes some of the Lord's pastimes over a period of few years in Nilachal. The Lord's later pastimes in Nilachal are not described in this book. Such later pastimes are also not described by Sri Murari Gupta in his book Sri Chaitanya Charita. So Chaitanya Charitamrita is different, Chaitanya Charita is different. Okay, so text one. अजानुलंबित भुजो कर्णकावदातो संकीर्तनेक पितरो कमलया तक्ताक्षो विश्वाम्बरो द्विजवरो युगधर्म पालो वंदे जगत प्रिय करो करुणावतारो. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sri Nityanand Prabhu, whose arms extend down to their knees, who have golden yellow complexions, and who inaugurated the congregational chanting of the holy names of the Lord. Their eyes resemble the petals of a lotus flower. They are the maintainers of the living entities, the best of the Brahmins, the protectors of religious principles for this age, and the benefactors of the universe, and the most merciful of all incarnations. So he opens his book by offering obeisances unto Mahaprabhu and Nityanand Prabhu, and giving their some of the beautiful symptoms and the pastimes what they did. In this verse of the Mangalacharan, the forms of Shri Gaur and Shri Nityananda are described. They have long arms that stretch to their knees. Their complexions are like gold, and their eyes are like the petals of the lotus flower. These two brothers have been described and adored as inaugurators of the Sankirtan movement, the protectors of religious principles for this age, the maintainers of the living entities, the benefactors of the universe, the best of the Brahmins, and the most merciful of all incarnations. Sri Gaurhari and Sri Nityananda are the bestowers of the Mahamantra, the spiritual masters of the universe, and the fathers of the pure chanting of the holy names. They are the bestowers of the Mahamantra, and they are the spiritual masters of the universe, fathers of pure chanting of the holy names. They are both benefactors of the universe because they preach the principles of Jivdaya, compassion for all living entities. They are addressed as Karuna and Vishwambar, merciful and the maintainers of the universe, because they have preached the religious principles for the age of Kali in the form of serving Vishnu and the Vaishnavas through the process of Sankirtan, which is the only means of deliverance for the people of this age. Everyone should follow the principles of such prayers by Nameruchi, having a taste for chanting the holy names, Jividaya, showing compassion for other living entities, and Vaishnava Seva, serving the Vaishnavas. So there are only three principles actually Namaruchi, Jividaya, and Vaishnava Seva. So Namruchi means having taste and chanting of the holy names, Jividaya, showing compassion for other living entities, and Vaishnava Seva, serving the Vaishnavas. By using Dvivachan, the verb form for two, rather than Bahuvachan, plural verb form, it is established that their preaching, mercy, and protection of Yug Dharma is different from that found in seminal succession. Their preaching, mercy, and protection of Yug Dharma which is the Sankirtan movement, is different than that found in seminal succession. Means in mostly in Guru Parampara, it is like we study the Vedas and chant Gayatri, whatever the seminal Brahmins do. But they did everything different because nobody had started when Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu started. The arms of great personalities stretch to their knees, as indicated by the words Ajanu Lambit Bhujo, whereas ordinary people's arms are not like that. Shri Gaur and Shri Nityananda are both Vishnu Tattva who have appeared in this world. All the symptoms of great personalities were found in their transcendental bodies. It is stated in Chaitanya Charitamrita that one who measures 4 cubits in height and in breadth by his own hand is celebrated as a great personality. One who measures 4 cubits in height, means 4 hands, and in breadth by his own hand is celebrated as a great personality. Such a person is called Nyagrodha Parimandal. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who personifies all good qualities, has a body of a Nyagrodha Parimandal. His arms are long enough to reach his knees. Our arms only reaches their knees when we sit down, but not when standing up. His eyes are just like lotus flowers. His nose is like a sesame flower. And his face is as beautiful as a moon. So these are the symptoms of somebody who's a great personality. Of course, more symptoms are given, but these are some. The phrase Kanakavadato is explained as follows. Since they both perform pastimes in the mood of devotees, their complexions are golden. They are the Vishay Vigraha or shelter of all devotees. They are the source of all spiritual beauty and they attract all living entities. So, since they both perform pastimes in the mood of devotees, their complexions are golden. Kanakavadato. What does that mean? Because devotion is actually the property, we can say, or it comes from, origin is in Srimati Radharani, and her complexion is golden. So the devotees who really make tremendous progress, their complexion or their aura becomes golden. For Srila Prabhupada, this is what he was famous for actually. His aura had become golden. It's all, the pure devotion, and that devotion comes from Srimati Radharani. They are the Vishay Vigraha, shelter of all devotees. They are source of all spiritual beauty and they attract all living entities. Lord Chaitanya is a supreme personality of Godhead and Lord Nityananda is his personal manifestation. As stated in the Mahabharata, Dan Dharma Vishnu Sahasranam Stotra, Suvarna Varna Hemango Varangas Chandanaga, Chandan Angadi. In his early pastimes, he appears as a householder with a golden complexion, Suvarna Varna Hemango. His limbs are beautiful and his body is smeared with the pulp of sandalwood seems like molten gold. When he already has golden complexion, and then when they put pulp of sandalwood on his body, it seems like molten gold. The words Sankirtaneka Pitaro indicate that Sri Gaur Nityananda are the inaugurators of the Sri Krishna Sankirtan movement. Srila Kaviraj Goswami has written in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela 376 as follows. Sankirtan Pravartak Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Sankirtan Jahe Tare Bhaje Chaitanya. Lord Shri Krishna Chaitanya is the initiator of Sankirtan, congregation chanting of the holy name of the Lord. One who worships him through Sankirtan is fortunate indeed. So to worship him is not difficult, just engage in Sankirtan, that's all. And he's worshipped. This is what he likes. And Sankirtan, Prabhupada, the translator is writing congregational chanting of the holy names of the Lord. Yes, this is what he established, but Srila Prabhupada took it further. Sankirtan means Samyak Kirtan. Kirtan means to glorify, Kirti. Kirtan to glorify the Lord. And Samyak, to glorify the Lord completely. Now, Prabhupada took this definition even further. Not just congregational chanting of the holy names of Lord. He called book distribution as also Sankirtan. Prashadam distribution is also Sankirtan. Preaching is also Sankirtan, part of Sankirtan, because we are glorifying the Supreme Lord. So this is all Sankirtan, and he is worshipped through this Sankirtan. Sankirtan is what? Glorifying the Lord congregationally, in whichever way, book distribution, Sankirtan, Prashadam distribution, so that people get attracted to the Lord, to the holy names, to his service, and they give up the material entanglements. And by getting attracted to the Lord, one develops love for God. So, and that means then he's not eligible to stay in this material world. He goes back to the spiritual world. It's so easy process actually Mahaprabhu has given. If somebody just engages in congregational chanting, dancing, I mean, it's even more potent, more powerful than doing tapasya like in Satyuga, you go to Himalayas for 60, 70,000 years and do tapasya, or do big, big yagyas as in Treta Yuga, arrange all the paraphernalia for yagyas, or do elaborate deity worship as in Dwapar Yuga, open huge, big, big temples and establish the deities. It all requires lots of effort, lots of money, lots of knowledge, everything. Sankirtan, what knowledge one requires? And Prabhupada showed it. We read it in Prabhupada Lilamrita. He just took devotees in Tompkins Square Park in New York and had kirtan. And devotees were dancing. And this is what attracted other people. What knowledge they had. Of course, they must have done plenty in the previous lives. But in this lifetime, they hadn't done anything. No knowledge, no yagya, no tapasya, nothing. They just assisted Prabhupada in his Sankirtan. And then they were going around distributing pamphlets for Prabhupada's classes. And then, of course, book distribution started, prashadam started, slowly, slowly, slowly. But this is how it all started. So for Sankirtan, no such qualification is required. Anybody and everybody can participate in Sankirtan. And people love to sing and dance. I mean, we have seen our group had gone to South India trip. And on the way back, we were at the Chennai airport waiting for a flight, waiting to board. And we started Kirtan over there. I mean, what to do at the airport? It was some time. And they were sure enough, people joined and they were dancing also. And luckily, none of the cops, they stopped us that, no, you cannot do that. We were just doing Sankirtan. We were sitting down. We were not roaming around. We were sitting down and chanting. So, so and look at the kirtan. I mean, there's so many videos. We see people go through like streets of London or Europe, and normal people, ordinary people, they just join and chant and dance, and then they go away. But just by doing even this much, they have made tremendous progress spiritually. Sooner or later, they will definitely come in the process. And prashadam distribution, who doesn't like prashadam? Like we are planning to do in Mark Purnima here. Who doesn't like prashadam? Just distribute prashad. Everybody loves it. Even Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple, he used to go to ISKCON temple to have prashadam. He used to walk so many miles, but he was so hooked up to prashadam. First of all, he didn't have money at that time in college. And then prashadam is so wonderful. So these are all part of Sankirtan. And this is how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gets worshipped. This is what he likes. By using the Dvivachan from the form of the word Vishwambhar, both Vishwarup and Vishwambar are indicated. Shri Gaur and Shri Nityananda are both Vishnu Tattva, and since they have distributed love of God to the world through the chanting of the holy names, they are known as Vishwambhar. Vishwambar means a maintainer of the universe. So they are the real Vishwambars. Sri Nityananda and Sri Vishwarup are one. So Vishwarup was brother of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, elder brother, who left and took sannyas. And then later left his body at Pandharpur. Please refer to Adi Khanda of this book. Srila Kaviraj Goswami has written in Chaitanya Charitamrita as follows. In his early pastimes, he is known as Vishwambar because he floods the world with the nectar of devotion and thus saves the living beings. The verbal root Dubrin, which is the root of the word Vishwambar, indicates nourishing and maintaining. He, Lord Chaitanya, nourishes and maintains the three worlds by distributing love of God. He nourishes and maintains by distributing love of God. So this is a real nourishment people need, people want. But, but because of our ignorance, we're going after temporary material things, thinking this will nourish, this will maintain us. No. Sankirtan does. A reference to the word Vishwambar is given in the Vedas. Atharva Veda, second Khanda, third Prapataka, fourth Anuvak, fifth mantra as follows. Vishwamba Vishwen Mam Bharasha Pahi Swaha. Please preserve me by sustaining the universe, O Vishwambar, upholder of the universe. So in Atharva Veda also, Vishwamba means upholder of the universe, maintainer of the universe. Well, the commentary is pretty long on this verse. The word Dvija generally refers to Brahmins, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas who have undergone the purificatory processes. But here the word Dvijvaro refers to Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, who are dressed as Brahmins and who have taken the role of Acharyas. Only Brahmins are meant to take sannyas because Kshatriyas and Vaishyas are not qualified. So according to ashram consideration, only Brahmins are addressed as Dvijavara, the best of Dvijas. Both Sri Gaur and Sri Nityananda took the role of Jagat Guru Acharyas and taught devotional service of the Lord to the people of this world. Therefore, they are the crest jewels amongst the Brahmins. In this incarnation, they did not consider themselves cowherd boys and perform pastimes like Raslila with any cowherd damsels, either in Gaudadesh or in Odisha. If one wants to destroy the distinction between the Madhurya pastimes of Vrindavan and the Audarya pastimes of Navdeep, then he will commit Ras Abhas and fall into hell due to the offense of opposing the conclusions of the author Vrindavan Das Thakur and Ramananda. Okay. So Dwij means twice born. Dvi, two, Ja means Jan. So twice born. So twice born, once born from the womb of mother, and second by initiation, by spiritual master. So Shudras are not qualified to go through this process. Only Brahmins, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas who have undergone the purificatory process of initiation. So that's why they call Dvij, twice born. Of course, a bird is also called Dvij. Once the bird is born inside the egg comes out of the mother's womb, and the bird is there, and then the bird grows, and he borns, comes out of the egg also, breaks a shell open and comes out of the egg. So bird is also called Dvija sometimes. So means any person who has taken initiation, but it doesn't take his vows seriously. It doesn't work on to make progress spiritually. Then he's also Dvija, but he's like a bird who's not making any progress spiritually. But we got to be real Dvija. So further he says, Dvij Varo, this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, they're the best jewels among the Brahmins, among the Dvijas. And because they have taught devotional service of the Lord to the people of this world. And they're the Dvijvaru, they're the Acharyas also, because they are teaching this devotional service. And they did not act like cowherd boys, they did not perform Ras Leela. So, of course, the Sankirtan performed at the house of Shilvas Thakur is considered equivalent to Krishna's Ras Leela with his gopis. But not Ras Leela as such was performed by Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. Okay, I guess we can. Okay, another line. The word Dvijvaro may alternately refer to Dvijrajao, or two full moons that have simultaneously arisen. Dvijrajao. So beautiful descriptions are being given. So we'll stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, we have so far read Chaitanya Charitamrita, and we have never studied that Nityanand Prabhu also had a molten golden color. Only it is described for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu only.
Yeah, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, yes. But he also had golden color. because the devotion. ठीक है?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Jai Shri Prabhupada.